So this is what they advertise as next generation games. Jesus, man. Okay, welcome back you guys. I know it's been a while since I've done any reviews, but let's kick off again with Watch Dogs. A game that in my opinion has been obviously again been overhyped and doesn't fulfill on the promises that they made earlier. Now let's explain what Watch Dogs is in a short moment. This game offers the player a huge open world which allows you to steal, hack, kill anyone in sight, or even piss down the boots of an officer. No, I'm just kidding about that part, but it's just a huge fucking game. However, do not make the mistake by comparing this with GTA 4 or 5. It is not really that similar, apart from the fact that it's a huge open world where you can do whatever the fuck you want. Although at first glance many veteran players of the GTA franchise will notice some similarities at first. Now the main reason why I'm claiming that you should not compare this game to the GTA franchise is because the GTA franchise never bored me this fast or never got this repetitive this fast. Yeah, you heard me alright. I'm giving negative criticism on this game even though many praise it like it's a godsend or something. And I'm not even gonna whine about the bad performance or the bad PC port because that's way too obvious in my opinion already. However, it's not all bad. So let's start off with the negative point so that we can end on a positive note. Okay, so now let's check what went wrong and right with this game. Okay, so let me explain to you in a short version why I think that this game becomes boring after a while. And this is simply due to the fact that this game has a lot of repetitive side missions. And don't get me wrong, this game has a lot of side missions, but that's what the problem is with this game. There's a lot of quantity but not enough quality. These side missions are just one repetitive thing after the other. All they consist of are randomly generated events that you trigger by interacting with the world or just by hacking civilians. These events will only give you 4 different side mission possibilities: either criminal convoys, crime events, gang hideouts, or fixer contracts. So these only vary between taking down enemy gang members and stealing cars, although the fixer contracts do give some variation in the sense that you sometimes have to hack a car or avoid cops or even just do a time run through checkpoints, but that's basically it. Now the story itself is also pretty basic and makes little to no sense when you're interacting with the world. What I mean by that is that the story contradicts the actions that you do in the world. Because basically, to explain it simple, you've lost your niece in a car crash and you're on a rampage in the city, killing anybody on sight and stealing everybody's money in order to take revenge on the people who did it. Now this all doesn't make really a lot of sense to me. And neither does a reputation counter, because besides getting spotted easier when you're a criminal, I can't think of any other downside that screws you over when you're killing too many people and becoming evil. Hell, even after a while the only joy I could find was to randomly shoot people on the street and then barricade myself in a building or a garage to kill all incoming cops for over half an hour. And even killing people doesn't make a lot of sense in this game, because as long as you're in a car and you drive over them or destroy property, then they're not calling the cops on you. However, as soon as you steal a car, they will call the cops instantly, unless you scare them off or run them over. Now on foot this is exactly the opposite. On foot you only have to wave your gun and people will start calling the cops. Which makes it pretty irritating to take down gunmen or criminals on the street, because it will often end up with cops banging in your rear end.
Oh my god.
So when killing people started to get boring, the only logical next step I could do to keep myself enjoyed after a while were the minigames, which are abundant in this game, I must add. There are tons of minigames to do, ranging from digital trips where you can be a huge spider tank and crush your enemies, or do a digital shooting gallery in hologram style, or just basically do a hard game of chess. Now when I talked about driving earlier, I wanted to add to that the cars all feel identical to me, because they all feel very floaty. The only thing that makes a difference is the weight and maximum speed your vehicle can go. What I mean by floaty driving behavior is that, for example, all the cars very easily slip out of control. It doesn't even matter how slow you're taking a curve or corner, they will most definitely start drifting and spin out of control. So don't expect any realistic driving experience like you would have in Grand Theft Auto. The aiming is also a hell on PC. Now the mouse acceleration, for example, really slows down your mouse when you need to make tiny corrections during aiming. But enough of the negative stuff. Let's actually see what they did do right with this game. Now, not everything is bad about this game. It actually has some very nice features that could provide a lot of fun. Like for example the hacking, which is nice and original when you come to think of it. I haven't seen many games where being chased by cops was this fun, although as soon as you leave your car you'll easily get shot in an instant. Since there is a lack of gear and weapon upgrades or customizations to buff up your character. A minor aid to this are the skill points, which there are more than enough of to say the least, and while they give you a lot more powerful hacking abilities, they do not give you quite enough options to buff the strength of your character, so dying will occur a lot more than you'd want to. However, I personally love much higher difficulties in games, but I know not everybody shares that opinion. Now the hacking allows you to carefully time the moment where you want to blow up a steam pipe in the cops their face, or when you would have used some blocks or spikes to slow them down. This hacking tool will also allow you to switch between cameras which are in line of sight of each other, or just keep remotely detonating charges, blocking communication, or disable reinforcements. You can even hack into other people's houses and spy on them, although some things you'll witness are not for the very sensitive viewers, if you know what I mean. Now the hacking tool will also allow you to steal from anybody you encounter on the street that wears a smartphone. But what's the nice extra feature in this hacking tool is the fact that you can listen to any conversation, which is very similar to what secret agencies around the world are doing right now with you. But these conversations will activate random events like crime events, fixer contracts or criminal convoys or whatever. This makes the side missions quite interactive, but on the other hand I wish that besides the fixer contracts they would have made them a little bit more variable. However, if the side missions don't interest you anymore, then the mini games and unlockables I mentioned earlier can count for dozens of hours if you're into that. Nothing can be more satisfying than crushing enemies with a huge spider tank. Oh, this is fucking awesome, man. Spider tank does whatever a spider tank does. Easily the best part in the entire game, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Or just simply playing this game's version of Carmageddon. These mini-games are called digital trips and can be started anytime and anywhere. Apart from these digital trips, you will also have your unlockable content that is unlocked by completing various mini-games like parkour running, hacking 5 points against the clock, or finding 4 cases in time. They are all a nice little extra to keep the fun in the game long enough so that you'll get your value for the game. Now in total this game is fine and good fun. But unless you're a person who likes to do a lot of repetitive side questing and minigames, you will finish this game way too quickly. And to be honest, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't complete them at all. However, the game does have some originality in terms of the hacking tool, and you can see that they have tried really hard to come up with a big game with enough content. But otherwise than that, this is just a game that tried to be like Grand Theft Auto too much and failed a little bit in it. So is it worth your $60, you may ask? From what I've seen from the standard content, it is worth it, yes, but in my opinion, the most worthwhile content are again found in the planned DLC and bonus packages. So if you're not willing to pay for extra content, then I suggest you just buy a cheap CD key or wait until it drops in price. My name is Dreamon, the Belgian Waffle. I've been your host for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you guys next time. By the way, if you guys are able, please share and favorite these videos if you're already a subscriber. It would help me out a lot.